What's up, guys? I just wanted to tack this on to the front of the video to shout out Incog. He sent us the template and everything for the new thumbnails to spice our game up a little bit, so huge shout out to him. It's really awesome. And obviously I had already recorded the Teambuilder before he sent them, so I didn't want to have to re-record the whole thing to include it, but I wanted to make sure to include this here so that you know all the BTA videos and everything going forward. He was the one who helped us out with that. So huge shout out to him. He's an awesome dude. I'll link his channel down below. Great guy. But yeah, now on to the actual video. Bye.
What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 3 Team Builder here in the BTA Season 8. Your Anaheim Appletons are currently sitting at, I don't believe I actually mentioned the new team name yet, but the Anaheim Appletons. You've seen the logo on the thumbnails, but I haven't actually mentioned the team name. Oops. Might be, oopsies. Anyway, we are currently 2-0 with a +11 differential, so we are absolutely killing it this season so far. It has been going extremely well, and hopefully we can keep up that streak this week, but I am not confident because look at the team we're facing. It's kind of terrifying. We are facing Tyler and the Twinleaf Town Turtwigs. I do not know his record off the top of my head. I'm going to look it up now because I am curious, because I don't remember. I really don't remember. And I feel really bad, because I should probably look these things up ahead of time. Standings. Haven't been updated yet because the week's not totally over. Aha! Tyler is currently 1-1 with a 0 differential. So straight up zeroed out, which is logical, makes sense. That happens sometimes. But even still, he has been performing extremely well so far, in my opinion. I think he's been doing exceptional. He is really solid. His improvement has been near astronomical. And his team this season is kind of gross. Granted, he only has 10 Mons, but his team is insanely good regardless. So his team, you can see it right below me, right there. Right down there. I could probably just use this hand. That makes more sense. But anyway, his team consists of Mega Altaria, Celesteela, Cresselia, Araquanid, Morpeko, Articuno, you bastard, Audino, Tangrowth, Infernape, Rhydon, and that's it. Okay, he has Unknown. Yes, we're allowing Hidden Power to be used on Unknown because it's the only move that it learns. No, we're not caring about Unknown because he's not bringing it because it's a meme pick. There's no way he's bringing Unknown. If he brings it, he's brought 5 Pokemon to face me, and that's just rude. But looking at his team, the things that stand out to me is the fat core, the very fat core. He has Celesteela, he has Cresselia, he has Tangrowth, and he has Rhydon. And Araquanid. All very fat mons that all hurt me. Steela, everyone knows what Steela does. Big, fat, hits decently hard, kills something, gets a beast boost. You know the drill. Leech Seed and stuff like that. Ridiculously annoying. Not really looking forward to dealing with that. Cresselia. One of the fattest mons in fatness. The fattest of fat fatties. Cresselia is chunky. It is hard to break through, and I am dreading this. If you couldn't tell, I am horribly dreading this. Araquanid sets up webs, hits like a truck, can't be burned. That's annoying. Fuck. It also is, more resistant to fire type moves thanks to its water bubble ability. So that's not fun. Tangrowth, Regenerator, fucking being one of the fattest grass types in the game. That Spidef is pretty shit, but its Fizdef is ridiculous. That's not going to be fun to deal with. Audino, another Regenerator mon that doubles as a Cleric. That's not fun. And then Rhydon just being a big, tanky Eviolite monster. Articuno is also extremely fat, and now with heavy-duty boots, it doesn't have to worry about rocks as much. So that's a thing. On top of that, he's got offensive mons like Mega Altaria, Morpeko, and Infernape. Morpeko was MVP last season from our All-Star, as determined by our All-Star series. Infernape is one of the best mons in the game because it can be physical, special, mixed, whatever the fuck you want it to be, bulky, it doesn't matter. You can make Infernape however you want, and it pretty much typically does its job. And then Mega Altaria, special variant, hits like a truck with Hyper Voice and has fire coverage to cover for things that typically tend to switch into it. And a physical version, while it did lose return, it still gets Double Edge. Yeah, it has to take the recoil, but it's still not fun. We still don't like taking the hit. It's not a pleasant experience. It's not something I ever want to have to do. So that's terrifyingly strong. His team is just... Breaking the fat is hard enough to do, but being able to handle the offensive mons at the same time, that is where the true struggle comes in. Sorry, I need to readjust myself here. Alright. So to combat this monsters team, starting off, we are going to be bringing our Mega Absol, who hasn't really gotten off the blocks yet this season. He didn't even get to Mega Evolve week 1, and then last week it clicked knockoff once into a Mega Manectric, and then that was it. That was all it was able to do. So hopefully this week we'll be able to get Mega Absol to do something. It's really here because Cresselia exists, and I want to kill Cresselia at all costs. So that's what Mega Absol tends to do. Hopefully it will be able to do that. But regardless, knocking off items on a lot of his bulkier things and knocking off, potentially getting an item gone, from something that's a little bit bulkier, or some one of his offensive threats as well. All those options sound great to me. So we are running Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Superpower, and Play Rough with max attack, enough speed to outpace the Infernape, and then we just threw the rest into HP for bulk, for a little bit of natural bulk. Knockoff is going to be the main thing I click in this game. If I predict the Altaria might come in, I'll try to catch it with a Play Rough. Especially once it Mega Evolves, Mega Altaria will be a very prominent switch into this thing. As for the other switch-ins to knockoff, Infernape won't appreciate a knockoff because it's not super bulky, and if it's a Scarf variant, I'd be able to KO it afterwards. However, I wouldn't be staying in because of Mach Punch, obviously. Mach Punch would probably be able to KO me, to be completely honest. I didn't run the calcs on it, but I don't really think I have to. I think I just know Mach Punch probably kills me, so... and then with Morpeko, we outspeed Morpeko, and we'll knock off its item and then be able to kill it with a Play Rough. We have the Superpower as a backup plan to hit the Rhydon. If we can knock off its Eviolite, then Rhydon knockoff plus superpower, like a lot on most spreads of Rhydon, KO it, if I remember correctly, which is nice. Like, once we get rid of that Eviolite, it's a little bit easier to take care of. So, hopefully we'll be able to do that, and hopefully our Absol will be able to put in some work this week. It's kind of embarrassing that, like, we got this as our Mega, and, like, we really planned hard to get this, and he hasn't done shit. But he will eventually. He's one of those Pokemon that's like, you bring him to a game because your opponent has nothing to switch into his knockoffs, so, like, it works most of the time. So, hopefully it will be able to do something here. Next up, we have Buzz, the Volcanion, rocking the heavy-duty boots, with the water absorbability, of course, Flamethrower, Steam Eruption, Defog, and Toxic. Max HP, 132 into special attack with a modest nature, and 124 into speed. So the 124 into speed allows us to outpace no speed Cresselia and anything that's a speed tier below it that's not running speed. So, like, will outspeed no speed Articuno, will outspeed Araquanid, will outspeed Rhydon, will outspeed Tangrowth, will outspeed Audino. Pretty much all of his fat things will outspeed Celesteela. So that's pretty cool. 132 Modest allows us to guaranteed 2-hit KO pretty much everything that, like, we needed to. Celesteela included. Tangrowth, we guaranteed 2-hit KO Assaultfest Tangrowth with this as well. This allows us to beat down Articuno as well, so that's really nice. Basically, this thing is just built to 2-hit KO things it wants to. And then we have Toxic as a way of toxicking something like Cresselia, or getting a Toxic on Araquanid, which is a very good switch into this thing, as well as Mega Altaria would be great. Would really like to get a Toxic on those things, so that's the goal. And then we have Defog because, again, looking at his team, he's got a couple prominent rockers in, like, Infernape, Rhydon. I think Audino gets rocks as well. I don't remember. But he also has webs with Araquanid, which I don't want to be dealing with. So I have Defog so that I can be able to come in and remove those really quickly, especially the webs, because webs would be an issue, a big issue for specifically Mega Absol. And one of our other team members as well. Like, some of our slower team members, it's not that huge of a deal, but some of them do have specific speeds put in that I don't want messed with. So that's our Volcanion. It's pretty straightforward. Its goal is to just get Toxics on some of his bulkier things, and then just smack its way through some of his other Fatmons as well. So next up, we have Akimbo, the Dewblade, and we are rocking a bit of an interesting spread this week. We are holding the Eviolite, and we have Swords Dance, Iron Head, Shadow Sneak, and Close Combat. We are running a Jolly Nature with 76 speed EVs. Now, this allows us to outpace everything, no speed variants of everything base 50 and below, so, like, Audino and Tangrowth we outspeed, Rhydon we outspeed if he has no speed, Araquanid we outspeed, all stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. The 80 Spadef was just left over at the end, so I threw that in there because it's important. Max HP, because we needed as much bulk as we possibly could. And then the 100 attack EVs, I believe. What was that for? I believe that was for a specific 2-hit KO on something. I don't remember off the top of my head what that was exactly for. But it might have been Audino, like fully physically defensive Audino with close combat. +2 close combat will now OHKO it. The goal is to try to get up a Swords Dance with this thing as quickly as possible, and do as much damage with it as we can. If we lose Dewblade, it's not that big of a deal. Its goal here is literally to get a Swords Dance up, and rip a hole through just about whatever it can before it dies. So that means like smacking holes through things like Articuno, Cresselia, which can't really touch this thing, which is nice. Breaking Audino, being able to smack Tangrowth, break through Rhydon, potentially, and then have Shadow Sneak to be able to, hopefully still at +2, get some big priority hits off on whatever's trying to kill us before we die. So Akimbo is basically going to come in here and kamikaze the fuck out of things, and hopefully rip a big enough hole that the rest of our team will be able to finish it off. Next up, we have Shroomsy the Amoonguss, 252 HP, 128 defense, 128 special defense. I left the spread this way. I didn't feel like optimizing it too much further because its defense stats are the same. That's pretty much it. I just knew I needed a Amoonguss in this game. Black Sludge is obviously important to give him recovery. I believe we tank Psyshock and stuff like that from Cresselia pretty nicely. We tank hits from Celesteela pretty well as well. This thing can pretty much come in and out of the game pretty nicely against a lot of different mons. This can come in on Morpeko pretty nicely. I just hope he's not going for Parting Shot at that time. This thing can come in on Tangrowth pretty easily. Just overall, I think Amoonguss just has a good matchup here. We have Spore, Clear Smog, Sludge Bomb, and Toxic for the moveset. Spore is going to be huge because if we can get one of these bulkier things to sleep, that'd be great. And honestly, I think it would be pretty free to click because I don't see him bringing Tangrowth in directly on Amoonguss. Just because of the fact that I can Sludge Bomb it. Like, if he's Assault Vest, he can tank it, but he doesn't really want to get that poison on him. And if he's not Assault Vest, he does not take it very well at all. So Amoonguss would pretty much mess him up pretty easily. So Spore can be pretty free on Amoonguss, which would be nice. Clear Smog is here because we can come in on Mega Altaria pretty nicely if the Dragon Dance set, and then we can just shut it down, which is nice. We can also beat it down with Sludge Bombs, which is also good. So this thing can very easily make Mega Altaria not a problem, which is very reassuring because I don't really want Mega Altaria to ever be a problem at all. Then we have Toxic because honestly he has one Cleric on his team, and that is the Audino. And I think actually Mega Altaria might get Heal Bell, but that would be potentially a wasted turn for him if he runs it. If he does bring it, that's smart on his part. But I see that as like his Mega should be doing more damage than trying to be a Cleric. So hopefully he doesn't bring Heal Bell on both. But I can spread Toxics to his team also pretty freely. So that would be great. The only thing I can't Toxic is the Celesteela, which honestly I feel like that's going to be one of those main switch-ins to this thing, and I'd be able to get a Spore on it pretty quickly and then handle it appropriately from there. So yeah, Amoonguss has a lot of potential to do some cool stuff this game. It's mainly here because it's my glue mod on the team. It fits pretty easily. It can be built appropriately, and it's just fat. Also, with 128 Bold Nature, with max HP, we don't get O-Code by Flare Blitz from a Scarfed Infernape, which is cool. So that's also a nice little touch. It's something. Next mod we're bringing is Mongolian, the Zygarde. We are rocking the Roselli Berry this week. This is a way to allow us to deal with the Mega Altaria. So we can tank a Double Edge at +1. And then at +1 on our end, if we can afford +1 on our end, we can finish him off with an Iron Tail, if we can hit it. I don't want to speak that juju into the world, but, it's facts. We have Thousand Arrows, Dragon Dance, Iron Tail, and Toxic. We have enough speed to outpace a Mega Altaria, an unboosted Mega Altaria. Max attack, obviously, because we want to hit as hard as possible. And, you know, just threw the rest into HP because we needed as much bulk as we could to tank hits from some of his annoying-ass mons. Thousand Arrows is really good against him because it's a free click against most Pokemon. Grounding most of them and allowing us to get some good damage off on them. This will be really good. It'll be really good to ground Celesteela as well, so that we can have super effective damage on that. So that's nice. We have Iron Tail again for the Mega Altaria. Could also be used for the Articuno, but I'm definitely not risking that one. And then lastly, we have Toxic. And Toxic is here because there are 2 mons on his team, when looking at it, that come in on Zygarde pretty freely, with literally no drawback, and that is Araquanid and Tangrowth. And Toxicing either of those will be massive for us. So that's pretty much the goal here, is to predict those switch-ins, get Toxics off, and hope and pray that he doesn't bring one of his Cleric move options. Now, I said I was trying to avoid it, but when we were prepping, my girlfriend begged and begged and begged. And when I was looking at the team, I was like, well, this set could actually kind of do some work. I don't believe I'm about to do this. We're bringing Oricorio. Okay, so we're bringing Pom Pom Oricorio this week, the Zappy one, as she nicknamed it, with leftovers, Dancer ability, because that's all it has, Sub, Calm Mind, Revelation Dance, and Hurricane, max special attack, 104 into HP, and 152 into speed with a Timid Nature. Now the 152 plus Timid Nature is obviously to outpace Mega Altaria. If he runs max speed on something like Articuno or Cresselia, good on him. He'll outspeed us, but I doubt that. And looking at his team, I hate to say this on paper, if we can start getting Calm Minds up, there's really not a lot he can do. Heavy Slam from Celesteela does break our substitutes, but if he, say, runs like a special one with like Flash Cannon, if we get one Calm Mind up, Flash Cannon, and Flamethrower and stuff like that don't break our substitute, and we can just continue to Calm Mind up on it. We can also kind of sub in its face because it's, you know, it's a leech. It likes to click Leech Seed and stuff like that, so you could potentially get a free sub in its face, which is nice. And it does not appreciate Revelation Dance, especially once we get to +1, maybe +2. Hurricane, Mercs Araquanid, Mercs Tangrowth, Mercs Infernape, especially if we're, like, obviously we'll try to be behind the sub when Infernape comes out, but it Mercs Infernape, and then Morpeko, which resists both of our dual stabs, isn't the bulkiest, so once we get like a Calm Mind or 2 up, Revelation Dance and Hurricane both do crazy damage to Morpeko as well. Overall, this thing just kind of like, if I can get a Calm Mind or 2 up, we can kind of win. I would like to get to +6, because then I'd like to guarantee win, because Cresselia is annoying and likes to just win games. So, yeah. Yeah. Cresselia is annoying. But anyway. Yeah, Pom Pom Oricorio actually has a fairly decent matchup here, and if we can get our setup going, this thing can actually really put in a lot of work for us. And it kills me to admit that. But I'm hoping and praying that this thing does well. I had a couple other... I was going to bring Raikou, but I was asked to bring Oricorio and give it a shot. Maybe it would throw him off his game. Maybe. We'll see. we're going to try it. You know what? We have Oricorio on the team, we might as well use it. It's a ground immunity, which is nice. So this thing can also set up subs in front of Tangrowth pretty nicely, which is nice. So hopefully that will pan out positively for us. And if we can pick up a win with Oricorio, can we just have the title? Just want to put that out there. We brought Oricorio. You know? Please? Yeah, that is our team. It's going to be an interesting battle, to say the least. It's probably going to be a very long battle, to say the least, which is why I'm very happy that I do post comms for this league. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, I am PokePrimer, and I'm signing off. Peace.